Okay, let's be real. Trying to figure out a removalist quote can feel like you're trying to solve a puzzle in another language. It's confusing, it's stressful, and you're always wondering, what am I actually paying for here? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and break it all down, piece by piece, so you can look at any moving quote and know exactly what you're getting into. Let's do it.
So, this is the big question, isn't it? You get this single number, but it's not just one thing, it's a whole bunch of different costs all bundled together. We're going to deconstruct it, see where every dollar is going, and make sense of the whole thing.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the quote puzzle, then dive into the core components that make up the price. After that, we'll look at packing and protection, check out some optional extras, and finish up with the big one, understanding your insurance. Right, so think of your quote like a puzzle. At first, it's just a jumble of pieces. But once you know what each piece is and how it fits, the full picture of your move becomes perfectly clear. First up, let's talk about the absolute basics. These are the core components, the non-negotiables that form the foundation of pretty much every single moving quote out there. And it all begins right here. I cannot stress this enough. Your inventory list is the most important part of getting an accurate quote. Why? Because a detailed list of everything you own is how the company calculates the volume, the cubic meters, your stuff will take up. The more accurate you are here, the less chance of any nasty surprises on moving day. Now, here's where things get interesting. The way you're charged completely changes based on how far you're going. See that? A local move is all about time. It's an hourly rate. But once you cross state lines, it flips to a fixed price based on how much stuff you have and the massive distance they have to cover. The logistics are just a different ballgame. So for those local moves, the hourly rate is key. And remember, that's usually priced per mover per hour. And just a heads up, that rate will almost always be higher on a weekend or a public holiday. Oh, and those 3 flights of stairs at your new apartment? Yep, that takes more time. And more time means a higher cost. Then you've got the transportation fee. This part's pretty straightforward. It covers the truck itself, the fuel to get from A to B, and any tolls along the way. But you gotta watch out for something called a call-out fee. Some companies charge this just to cover the time it takes for them to get to your house before the clock on your move even starts. Okay, let's talk about packing. This is usually where you get to make a choice. Are you going to roll up your sleeves and do it yourself to save some cash? Or are you going to pay a little extra for the pure convenience of having someone else do it all? Now, if you do decide to let the pros handle the packing, they're going to come equipped with all the good stuff. We're talking proper, sturdy moving boxes, rolls of bubble wrap, packing paper, and tape that actually sticks. It definitely beats running to the store 10 times yourself. And this really breaks down your 2 main options. You can get DIY support, where they basically just drop off all the professional materials for you to use, or you can go for the full-service option, where the team just swoops in and handles everything, packing, labeling, the whole shebang. It's the classic trade-off, your time versus your money. Okay, listen up because this is a big one. If you have anything that's fragile, heavy, or just plain awkward, like a piano, a big piece of art, or that antique wardrobe from your grandma, you have got to tell the movers about it from the very beginning. These things need special equipment and handling, and that will affect the quote. Being upfront about it is the best way to avoid a nasty bill shock later.
So beyond just packing, there are a whole bunch of other little extras you can add onto your move. Think of these as quality of life upgrades to take some of the most annoying tasks off your plate.
So what are the most popular ones? Well, having the team disassemble and then reassemble your big furniture is a lifesaver. If your move out and move in dates don't perfectly line up, they can arrange temporary storage. And you can even get them to organize cleaning services so you can just walk away from your old place without looking back.
All right, let's switch gears to something that is absolutely critical but so often overlooked: insurance. Knowing what you're covered for is your safety net, and it's the key to having real peace of mind during your move.
Most moving companies offer 3 basic levels of coverage. First, there's basic carrier liability, which is minimal. It pays out based on the weight of an item, not its actual value. Then there's public liability. That covers damage to the building, like if they scratch a wall, but not to your actual things. And finally, transit insurance protects you against a catastrophe during the journey, like a fire or a major crash. And here's the bottom line. For most people, that basic coverage just isn't enough. If you want to know that your valuables are truly protected, you need to look at comprehensive insurance. Yeah, it costs a bit more, but it's the only one that protects your items for their full replacement value. For anything you really care about, it's an investment worth making.
And here is a piece of industry jargon you absolutely need to know. PBO, which stands for packed by owner. This is a huge one. If you pack a box yourself and something inside breaks, the mover's insurance probably won't cover it. Why? Because they can't guarantee you packed it correctly. This is a massive reason why people choose to have the professionals do the packing for them. So let's bring this all home. Once you understand all these different pieces, the core costs, the optional extras, and the different levels of insurance, you're not just looking at a price anymore. You're looking at a complete plan, and you are the power to know exactly what you're paying for and make a truly confident decision. And that leaves us with this final, all-important question. A quote might look cheap on the surface, but it might not have proper insurance, or it could be hiding fees for things you just assumed were included. Now that you know how to read between the lines, you can look past the dollar amount and focus on what truly matters, getting the best value and the most security for your move.